This question is coming from Josh. Josh is asking, what is the most effective, the most important sweep to focus on? So Josh, honestly, it's a very broad question, and I gotta say, answering it precisely is gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try to nail this down as much as I can. First things first, we really have to evaluate the skill set level, because the best, quote unquote, is going to depend on the tools that we have available. And the second thing we have to really take a look is what is the position that we are trying to reverse from and where we're trying to get. So we have to develop a little bit deeper plan. So to answer that question, I think it's a little tricky question. To answer the question directly is going to be harder. However, this is what I'm going to encourage you guys to think about. When it comes to sweeping, reversing, or changing dynamics, transition from one position to another, gravity is your friend. Gravity, really understand the mechanics and really understand the situation that you find yourself in. So hypothetically, if our partner is much larger than us and they are sitting right on top of us, they have top control, they have full mount, my approach, it might be very different than if that person is smaller than me. In either case, the gravity is really working in my advantage. So I have to understand and find off-balancing points. I need to understand how to move my partner from a very well-balanced and steady position, from them being a boulder, to a position when they are by far more off balance. Removing the posts is a big component of balancing our partners. In judo, we call this a kazushi, off-centering them, or moving their head off the line of balance. And similarly here, once we achieve this, the sweep, the reversal, is really not much more than your partner falling and you guiding them in the direction where they need to go. If you think about sweeps from that perspective, things get much, much, much easier. As far as what sweeps to execute, I highly encourage you to focus on basics. Things like scissor sweep, things like bridge, trap, and roll. I mean, those are very fundamental and very effective ways of reversing our partners from the bottom position and get into the dominant position on top. But before we wrap this segment up, I want to mention one more thing. I want to mention the stages of every escape. And this is not only pertaining to reversals or sweeps, but any escape whatsoever. Before you start escaping, you need to make sure that you're defending yourself. And before, the moment you escape, you want to gain control. So these are there are four steps, four very important pillars of every escape. One is always protect yourself. If you're not protecting yourself, you cannot escape. You need to be in charge of the position where you know your partner or the opponent is not driving into aggressive motions which could lead into a submission or damage. Once we control the position and once we defend ourselves and we are in charge of that position, then we can begin escaping. Once we escape, we want to regain full control of where we are and what we are doing. And then, only then, we would proceed to attack if that's our choice at the end. So I call this DECA, but it's essentially defend, escape, control, and then attack. A very, very popular concept from a Gracie family, but very, very effective. The trick behind this is really that we cannot be in two places at once. We can only be in one of those stages at a particular time. So if you're defending, you are not escaping. And if you're escaping, you're definitely not controlling, and you're definitely not defending. So it's one or the other. If you're attacking, you're most certainly not escaping. You're definitely not protecting yourself. You're in different goal. You're in a point of time where the goal is very, very different. The moment you identify where you are, things get significantly easier. You have very specific goals. Think about it for a moment. If you're defending yourself, your focus will be on protecting you. So your partner is not attacking you. Your elbows are protecting, your neck is protecting. You're focusing on hip mobility and so on. But the moment you start escaping, Now is different. Now you're in motion. Now you're making steps towards the exit. You're making steps how to reverse that position. You're making steps how to sweep and how to get on the top, more dominant position. Once you get there, then you're controlling. And once your control is established, your submissions, your attacks will be very, very available.